This is Yohhamgambal. We're back playing Drakengard. Last time we just completed Ending C, where we were chasing after Inuart. He was trying to revive Furii, the goddess, in one of the Seeds of Resurrection, which we found out from Angelus is actually originally known as the Seeds of Destruction. And during that, Mana had a Seed of Resurrection, but was killed, I believe, by the Horde of Dragons, by Angelus's kin. And we were then faced with fighting Angelus in her new chaos form. But before we go on with the other chapters and the other endings, we're going to go ahead and do the last expedition mission in the last chapters of expedition missions, because after that we've done every expedition mission, I'm quite 100% sure, and so we have all the items in all these other places, so we just need to go to the Imperial capital. We could have done this one earlier, after chapter 8, I believe, but we didn't have the altar in the city, so we want to wait for that. And the altar in the city is actually a really annoying weapon to get. Hopefully I can do it right, but let's go into the Imperial's capital in the sky. And this mission's pretty easy. We just have to beat it in 5 minutes. We can use our special attacks, and we have to have at least magic of 50%. And we're going to use the Chaos form. I don't really know the difference between level 3 and Chaos. I think the magic is slightly different, but I'm not 100% sure. Funny thing is, though, the Chaos form doesn't really seem bigger than level 3. Like, level 3 seems bigger, especially in the butt region. Wow. Let's just reflect, though, just a second. Look how tiny Angelus used to be. And then, okay, she gets a little bigger. And then look at how big she gets. Our little girl grew up so fast. I do love, though, I love the way Angelus's feet kind of go into her body. It's almost like a jet with the legs. It's really cool. But yeah, though, let's go ahead and do this. But yeah, though, I do love a Chaos form. The fireballs are so cool, too. Okay, darn it, we have those annoying enemies I hate so much. The ones that open and close when they feel like it. Oh, and we have a Reaper, too. I think I'm going to focus on the Reaper, because Reapers are annoying. The flames are really cool, though, because they bounce around. Like, they ricochet off invisible walls. As you can see, they just kind of bounce around, which is really sweet. Alright, come on. Alright, he's done. He's kind of he's one of the annoying things, so I definitely want to get rid of him. And we can lock onto a ton of enemies now. And look at how sweet our magic looks, by the way. It's just sweet blue. But yeah, though, we can lock onto the little, I don't know if I ever mentioned this, but in the reticule, all those little dots are how many enemies we can lock onto with our magic. But yeah, as you can see, the Chaos form is really good. So if you had any troubles doing any of the in the sky missions to get the weapons before, you can get them fairly, well, maybe not, maybe it'll still be a little challenging, but it's definitely easier. Oh my gosh, though, I hate these, I hate the ones that just open up and close. These are the worst, because you have to kill them in their own time. They choose when they want to die, pretty much, and that's when they attack you. It seems like, I don't know if they just open up when you're close to them, or when they... I honestly don't understand what the preliminaries are to make them open up so that they can die. But it seems like these ones are just opening up when I go near them. So maybe that's what it is. You know, I honestly don't know, and I do apologize for that. It's never really something I thought to look up on the wiki, which is weird because I really like looking up stuff on wikis about games. I remember one time in university, you know, it was, you know, we were supposed to be watching a movie, but I've seen this movie, and we had to write a paper on it, and I was able to write a paper on it really easily, but I kind of was dazing in and out, and I remember I didn't really want to watch it, so I started watching, I started reading about the Legacy of Kain series, and reading about the time paradoxes in that game, so that was fun. the Soul Reavers and Soul Reaver 2 and Defiance. All right, we got these big guys again. They look kind of weird against the cities. But, again, these guys aren't too hard. How much time has gone by? Okay, so about 3 minutes. Yikes. Okay, we gotta hurry, though. I don't have a whole ton of time. But you know, though, this one can be a little annoying just because you also have to have at least 50 life. So you gotta make sure that you're not taking too much damage because you're Russian. Thankfully, though, you're allowed to use magic. If you weren't allowed to use magic, this would be exponentially harder. I mean, you don't have to. I mean, obviously, if you don't care about getting the weapon, you don't have to do anything. You can do whatever you want. You can have as little or little life as you want and use as much magic if you want. If it doesn't want. I never noticed, but those things, the scaffolding on their nipples is kind of funny. Just little buildings. Look at him turn. Look at him turn to try and get me with his little webbed feet. He's so cute. Are you trying to kill me? Oh, that's so sweet. Is that it? Oh, wow. I thought there was more. Well, that was pretty easy. That was, yeah. Nice. Look at that, 217, baby. That's the kind of attack power I like to see. And that should be a weapon for us? Yep. The Scream. A scream. Suddenly, a scream. A fairy spins around kind for 10 seconds. Nope, I do not like fairies because of the one that Leonard has. I'm not dealing with them. I got a dragon. I don't need a fairy. Okay, every fairy we've met in this game so far, which has been 2, have been complete dicks. So, I mean, you know, not all fairies, but, you know, the 2 I've met have not set a good impression on me. All right, so the next thing we have to do is go to the castle in... Oh, no, sorry. It's the wrong one. The Destroyed City. All right, so for this one, we need to completely ignore all the enemies for a minute and go to the staircase. Okay, so what's this jump on? Let's see. Okay, so we need to go all the way to the staircase at the end of this level.
Must you go? How many crimes will you commit before your heart is at rest?
I don't know. Wow, look at... I forgot how many targets there were in this part. Holy crap. That is a lot of enemies, and all of them are anti-magic. Alright, now there should be a weapon around here somewhere. Yep, a treasure box has appeared. Excellent. I cannot mount dragon here, but where's the treasure box? Okay, it's all the way over there. Yep, so I guess we'll just work backwards then. Let's just work backwards. Let's just do this. Using the slowest weapon in existence, but it, oh, whoops, didn't want to do that. Oh, I mean, these guys aren't anti-magic, so that's okay. I can use magic against these guys. I do love the Guts Sword, but it is so slow. But it is the strongest weapon in the game. But it's not really helpful right now, so let's use something else. Let's try this weapon out. This weapon, oh jeez, but it's a little slow too. But it, yeah, let's not use that. Let's use something a little better. I'm gonna use this because this weapon's really good. I like this weapon a lot. Nope, screw it. I need help. I just keep changing. It's like, Yoham, please make up your mind. I want to use this weapon because it's cool. No, I'm taking too much damage. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I'll use... This is one of my favorite weapons, though. It's so good. I mean, it's not like it's weak, either. It's, you know, it's pretty good attack-wise. But really, though, what makes it great, though, is its magic ability. I mean, you saw how great it was. This thing has, like, by far the best magic ability in the game. It's so good. If I could have just one weapon in the game, it would be just this, because, you know, it gives me healing. Like, controlled healing, even more than just killing enemies for their orbs. And it gives you Protective Barrier. And then probably I really do love the Gold Butcher, the Butcher weapon, though. But I seriously do. I mean, I seriously love the healing aspect of this weapon. It is so good. Alright, let's get rid of this guy. And I like that its charge attack is a you know, it's a distant, you know, it's a projectile, which is always nice when you have a charge attack that's a projectile. Okay, unfortunately though, it's taking a little time to kill this thing. Well, I didn't want it. Okay. Let me use something a little stronger then. I'm actually going to use the Philosopher staff. Even though it's not, you know, physically strong, it's magic. I really do like its magic, and that would be really helpful. Get a nice little picture of Kaim as he just continually welts on this enemy. Ooh, I might be able to get a power orb if with my combo high enough. Well, never mind, it's gone. Okay, let's go ahead and just shoot him with magic. It's not enough damage. Okay, let's just go to this. I just keep switching my weapons, I know. Alright. That's all of those guys. I think everyone else does anti-magic. Yeah. Now, one thing I want to do, though, I don't remember... I want to see if, her flames can go through anti-magic. Nope, they can't. Okay. I couldn't remember if maybe they could, if she had, like, a special ability, because she had, you know, because she was a Chaos Form, but she's not. This is actually kind of a long level. Let me see. Yeah, you know, I might just, you know, I think I'm going to speed this part up, because, you know what? As you can see, there is just a lot of mindless killing, which is fine, but there's not really else going on in this level, and I can't really speed up the process with magic, unfortunately. So, hold on. I'm going to be right... well, I'm not going to be right back. I'm just going to go ahead and fast forward this part, because this is going to take a while. So, I will see you in a second when all the... I'll talk to you when these enemies are all dead, so... Hold on. Okay, finally done. Wow, that took forever. I actually died the first time. I had to redo the whole thing. Those ogres killed me, so I had to redo it completely. But I got a couple of levels out of it, which is nice. And with that though, there's only one more expedition left, and then that's every single expedition in the game. Sorry if you hear something in the background. Sorrow Born. Alright, let's see what it does. Alright. Makes deadly ice. Very cool. Alright. Alright. And now let's go ahead to the final thing. Let's go to the altar in the city, where we fought the chaos form of Angelus. Now, to get the weapon here is actually kind of annoying, so I need to pull up my thing that tells me how to do it. It's actually kind of weird, because I don't know how you would know how to do this.
May your sword return those monsters to the bowels of hell.
Alright, well, hopefully they're not, So, let me get my bearings. The first thing we need to do is go to the first picture on the right and look at it. Okay, so this should be the first picture on the right. Look at it. And then go to the first picture on the left. Alright. Then the 7th picture on the right wall. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5, 6. 7th. And then finally the 7th picture on the left wall. And hopefully this should be right. Okay, good. I got it my first try. Okay, that wasn't too bad at all. But my thing is though, how would anyone ever figure that out? That's it's so specific, you know what I mean? Like, how would anyone know what to do there? That's all. So I got the weapon, I think. I think I grabbed it. Okay. For some reason I thought that was harder than it was, but oh, I wasted my magic, but it really wasn't. Actually, I'm going to use this. Yeah, I for some reason I remember that being harder than it was, but guess it wasn't. So that's cool. I'm glad. But yeah, though this is the last expedition mission, and thankfully if I remember, it's way easier than the last one. Just because even though you have a lot of enemies to kill, they're at least not anti-magic, which is where the annoyance comes from. If I could just actually hit one of them, there we go. But yeah, though, and I have my magic cherub's breath, so and there's 3 treasure chests here to heal me. So yeah, I'm in a good place. Just gonna use the butcher axe because my god, is it so powerful. I think it can kill these guys just by walking into them now. Yeah, it's strong enough to where it can kill them just by walking into them. Not all the way, but pretty close. But I want the weapon though to get the experience, so then I can build more magic. Yeah, like without the power up, this weapon is really weak. But that's good though, because you don't. That's the whole point though, because if it kills enemies too fast, then it doesn't gain magic as quickly. Whatever. But that 200% strength is so good, baby. I'll tell you what. Yeah. Okay, so this is pretty easy. Again, thankfully, the last one was a little annoying. I was about to beat it. I was like 15 minutes in, and there was only just a couple more groups of enemies, but I got ganged up by the ogres and the red soldiers. And for some reason, I didn't think to jump on my dragon, but I got stuck in between them, and they just kept hitting me. And so I just lost a bunch of health. And then I just couldn't get any back before I died. Oh, I was hoping that was the last of it. The thing I don't like about these enemies, though, is that they pop up from the ground, which is kind of annoying, because then it's like, they get those invincibility frames when they're coming out, so that's wasted time for my weapon to kill them. But it's okay, it's not too big. Well, I lost a lot more life than I thought I did. But thankfully there's still at least 2 treasure chests I can open up. So I'm not really worried about life. But yeah, though, I'm kind of wondering, how is anyone supposed to know how to get the weapon there without any sort of guide? I mean, the treasure chests are kind of there, so maybe you would instinctively go to them and then you would accidentally unlock it. But there's no treasure chest on this side, though, so... For the left first one, so I don't know. And I don't know if there's a time frame you have to do it in. Like, you have to get it done in a certain amount of time once you look at one. I don't know. It doesn't... I don't know how you would know. Like, a lot of these you wouldn't really know how to get. You would have to have a guide. Like, some of the missions you can use magic on, others you can't. Some of them you have to wait for, like, 20 minutes. Like, the last mission we did, you had to completely ignore all the enemies to get and go to the stairs. I mean, why would you just do that, though? That's not really something you would instinctively do. So, I don't know. It's weird. So, yeah. Definitely something you need a guide on. But that's fine. I mean, this, you know, the internet's around, so it's not a big deal. I don't know if this game came out, though, before the internet, but there were probably, you know, there are obviously, you know, guides for it. I actually kind of, I don't know if it's just me, if I'm kind of weird, but I actually like looking at video game guides, even if I don't have the game. I just like reading them. I would actually like to get the Drakengard video game guide to read it. That would actually be kind of cool. Maybe that's, I don't know. Maybe I'll do that. I don't know how much they cost, because sometimes the older ones can cost kind of a, like more than a, they can cost like $30, $20, so it's like, oh, jeez, you know. So that's an investment. I gotta actually put some money down for that. That's funny. I still have my, I actually have a couple. I have Pokemon Stadium 2. I have Oracle Ages. I had that for years. Oracle Season and Ages. I also have Pokemon Yellow and a Pokemon Yellow guide. I think that's all I have. I don't really have a lot. Let's see. They're right next to me. Pokemon Yellow. Yeah. I only have like 3. But I remember I would go to the library, and the library actually had guides. But then they moved them. They like changed the system or something, and then I could never find them again. And then they changed the catalog system too. So before it was easy to find video game guides, and then suddenly I couldn't find them at all. That's actually how I found out about Beautiful Joe, through a video game guide at the library. I was looking, and then I saw the book, and I looked through it, and I'm like, well, this is a cool game. I want to get it. And that's how I found out about that. That's also how I found about, I think, Final Fantasy, actually. Final Fantasy X. Because I remember reading the guide. I learned about Final Fantasy X from finding the guide in the library, I believe. So that was kind of interesting. I think there's one more game. What? No. I don't know. The funny thing is, I remember I learned actually about a couple of games from the library, like, you know, obviously from the menus, but I also remember learning about the Neverhood. The Neverhood from the library. They actually had a library, computer that had the Neverhood in the computer, and you could play. And I remember I was like really little. I was like 7 or 8, or I was really tiny. I remember I wasn't very old. And I remember what part I would always see in the Neverhood, because I would try and play it, but I wouldn't know how to play, because I never played computer games at that point. I didn't even know what the internet was. I don't think I knew what the internet was until I was like 13. I didn't get to use the internet until I was like 13, and even then I had the smallest understanding of it. Like, I didn't really get what it was. But yeah, the Neverhood, the part that I would play on was the part where you have to trick the beast into eating the dynamite Clayman, so that you could get past him. And I remember that. But I never, for the longest time though, I never knew what the game was until I saw a thumbnail of it when I was browsing YouTube, like early when I just started YouTube. From Scorch82, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's the game I remember as a little child, because I remember it was just Clay, and I remember the beast, and I remember watching other people play it sometimes too, and when he ate like the fruit from the tree, his mouth, I think his head like shrunk or something. I just remember watching. I just remember that. So yeah, it's kind of funny how the game, how the library introduced me to a bunch of to some games that I wouldn't have ever really known about, obviously. And there's other games too that I think the library introduced me to with the video game guides, but I just can't recall at the moment. I just remember a couple of them. Those Final Fantasy X, Beautiful Joe, and Neverhood were kind of the ones I remember. I don't know why I remember those ones. Final Fantasy X is actually a fun game, but Titus is a little annoying, but he's not the worst character I've ever run across. I don't mind him that much. The gameplay's solid, so you know. It's fine. Okay, oh my gosh. How many freaking enemies are there? I'm going to change my weapon real quick because it's getting low on magic, on healing resources, and I want to be able to heal. Even if that means I lose the chance to do like really fast damage enemies, I want to be able to heal. Because I don't think there's any more healing treasure chests. So I need to make sure that I am good on the health before... Oh, see, look at these guys can do a lot of damage fairly fast. And I'm kind of spamming buttons. Okay, I'm going to just kind of hit them from afar. There we go. God, I love this healing spell. Don't do a ton of damage to them, unfortunately, but I think I'm okay. I think I can switch out to a different weapon. I'll switch out to this weapon, and then when this one's too slow though. Yeah, I need the Butcher of Joy. Even though it's does insignificant damage too, its ability is where it's at. And then I can switch to the Guardian Sorrow. Okay, just completely avoid that. Don't even try and block it. It's not worth it. Alright. Let me just run over you guys. I'm trying to think of what other games I saw. Let me see. There's Neverhood. Okay. Another game. I remember seeing it. I don't know what it's called, but it was like a Yeti. You're going down a hill, and you're on skis, and there's like this weird Yeti monster that chases you, and you're trying to avoid it. I remember seeing people play that. I think that's about it, though. I can't really recall anything else. Yeah. Oh, right, treasure find. Ooh, I think I like this weapon if I remember correctly. I say that about every weapon, though. It's lost all value. But I'm going to go ahead and take it. No. I'm going to get rid of this. All right. Okay, but you know what, though? I'm going to end the video here because this video, unedited, is an hour and 5 minutes long. So I'm going to go ahead and see you in the next part as we continue to play more Drakengard. And we're going to go ahead and, let's see, we should be starting chapter 10? Because we just finished chapter 9. Let me see. Let's double check. So we just, yep. Okay, look at this, though. Demon's Wings. To see this verse, you must view chapter 9, verse 4. Okay. Ooh, you know what? So actually, we're not going to go to chapter 10 yet because, look, we can get the next ending right here where Furii is reborn. So, Inihart was at least able to... Okay. All right. We'll talk about it in the next part. So I'll see you then. Okay. Bye then.